Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, October 3rd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, a couple of clarifications. First off, I will be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. And then second, that candlestick right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. So first stock here, ticker symbol FEMY. Did this one last week and drew in this pattern right here. And you can see just a nice gap up above that area. But here's what's great, and just the power of charts, is that when levels of resistance are broken, so I'm going to change that to red to green to represent now support, you want to see them act as support. And sure enough, you can see with this pullback, look right where this level bounced off of. A couple times there, once more right there. So just a classic, beautiful example of a former area of resistance now acting as support. So because of that, I'm going to extend this line out, and we'll keep an eye on that level moving forward here as an area of support. I am going to get rid of that level as it served its purpose now. So first level of support will be that trend line break right there. And then the second level will be that purple line, the 50-period moving average, keyword there being moving. So as time goes by, this line here is going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. But from an overarching standpoint, those would be the two main levels of support now that I'd keep an eye on. In terms of levels of resistance, pretty straightforward. In my mind, right there at that area of $4.03, you can see that right there had it open, but ultimately the price closed below it, then just a flat out rejection. So if the price does come back up there, that's going to be the initial big question mark, is can the price break up through that $4.03 mark? But all in all, from a bigger picture standpoint, the chart keeps putting those higher highs and higher lows, and that's what matters most. Next one, AWIN, nice consolidation here, and always a little worrisome when you have these gap ups, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have traded for a while, but if you have, I'm sure you've seen those stocks that gap up, make a big move up, and then start to drop and drop and drop, and then at this point, it's always, is this going to be a gap and trap where the thing just keeps dropping back into oblivion? And we got our answer, and no, it was not. The price finally leveled out here, which, suggests that, okay, maybe this is just a consolidation. Now, let me be very clear. So let me get this level mapped out here, because that is going to be the key level of support right there at 19 cents. But just because the price pulled back and went sideways, and like I said, wish I could say trading was this easy, but that does not mean that for sure guaranteed that 20 cents there is the for sure bottom and that the price will for sure bounce from there. My point here is that it becomes plausible now. It becomes a lot more valid to think that this is a healthy consolidation. The selling pressure is done, and this thing might be getting ready to curl back upwards. Once again, to reiterate, does not guarantee that, but it becomes a lot more plausible to think that way. In terms of levels of resistance, key level now, if there's any sort of attempt movement back up there at the 25-cent mark, so keep an eye on that. So maybe next, couple days, this enters into some sort of sideways channel pattern. That's a possibility, but to be fair, maybe not. Maybe this thing is just kind of gearing up for another big move to the upside. Only time will tell. So if you like these sorts of scenarios, you like penny stocks, keep an eye on it. Next one, PIXY, very nice move here. Although there's no doubt about it that, yes, this afternoon, you can't deny there has been this downwards channel that has formed. So again, you can't deny that. And that's where things get a little tricky because, yes, I completely realize if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you're buying right up around there and your plan was to buy and sell within a few minutes, well then, yes, from that perspective, the chart looks really, really bad because of, again, that downwards movement. With all that being said, if you care about the bigger picture, then part of your analysis would be, yeah, fair enough. The price has formed this downwards channel. But you would also factor in, yeah, but what was going on before this downwards channel? And you would say, well, there is this huge upwards movement right there. And at this point, from a bigger picture standpoint, what you would now have is a bull flag pattern. So like I said, is it a good or bad looking chart? That all depends on your point of view, because from the bigger picture point of view, yes, you got the pullback, but that's just created a bull flag pattern. So overall though, assuming you care about the bigger picture of things, the best way to summarize this one at this moment is a bull flag. Next one here, ICCM. Interesting chart because in my mind, it's just a big question of, is history going to repeat itself? What history am I referring to? Well, let's take a quick look through today's movement. So had the gap up, came down, and then you can see consolidated out here nicely. And then all of a sudden, boom, up it went again. Now you're going to have a case of deja vu because, yes, now you've noticed that the price has once again gone back down, has consolidated out, and now that's where the question mark comes into play. Is history going to repeat itself? Is there going to be another nice kaboom back to the upside? Maybe not, to be fair, because there are no guarantees. Maybe this thing just drops back into oblivion. But that is a two-sided coin because, well, maybe history does repeat itself and you get a nice move in the upwards direction. So that's what it's all about in my mind, and that's what a watch list is all about. Finding unique, finding interesting situations, and not rushing out and randomly buying stuff, but watching it. So maybe you don't find this unique, maybe you don't find this very interesting at all. Fair enough, this one probably won't be on your watch list. But if you do find this sort of circumstances unique and interesting, then definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, AMC, and overall good solid day. Started off nice, opening 30 minutes, good solid green candle, and then a nasty 30 minutes there. Came down, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the previous video, but if you did, hopefully remember me talking about $7.80 as a level of support. And you can see right there, I mean, the power of charts found some support. So for any of you that actually bought that support, congratulations. You got a fantastic bounce in the upwards direction, and things have been recovering very nicely. In fact, the price is back up above that area of resistance. So with that being the case, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this up to what I would say is the new kind of focal point of resistance. And the question here becomes, what direction is this resistance being moved? And I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area of resistance right up there to $8.35. And you saw that I had to adjust that resistance upwards, and that's always a good sign. Whenever level, assuming you're bullish, of course, whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted upwards, that is a good sign. So now we have it pretty black and white. We have the key level of support, nothing has changed there, down at $7.80. Key level of resistance, $8.35. But again, I realize, well, Clay, you just made it a sideways channel pattern again, and that's accurate. But again, from the bull side of things, it is in your favor because the sideways channel had to get adjusted in that upwards direction. But all in all, good healthy day, good recovery from that pullback this morning. So we'll see if it can build upon this momentum as the week is young, as it's only Monday. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online web class I'm offering here later on in the week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live event. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, BNOX. Nice pattern here with a level that I think a lot of people will be watching. And when you have a lot of people watching the same general area and wondering the same general thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So generally speaking, that trend line right there, in my opinion, a lot of people are watching it, and you're going to have a lot of breakout players. And it's a nice setup because you had the nice move here, you had the pullback down, the pullback established a nice little base here, and now you're getting that move back up to that trend line. So can this level break? Once again, no guarantees, but is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if the price can break through that level, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? In my mind, that is a very plausible scenario given the nature here of this little formation. So overall, really like that trend line there. From a support standpoint, keep an eye on that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. But in my opinion, at least, the most interesting dynamic is not necessarily anything to do with supports, but more so, can the price get back up to that trend line, and can it break through? Let's see what happens. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. I'm going to go through this one relatively quickly because in all actuality, nothing has really changed since the past videos I've done. If you have watched those past videos, then hopefully remember me talking about $254 as resistance. And again, the power of charts. I'll turn this into a quick plug to get signed up for that class. And this will mean more to those of you that watch past videos, but you know that I've had 254 sitting there, so it's not like I just threw that line into place just now. It's been sitting there. And check it out. Big bounce. And oh, what a coincidence, right where the bounce got rejected at that level. So does that mean that 254 can never be broken? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it makes sense why the price did to get rejected there, and that moving forward, if the price does recover back up to that area, then that's where the big question mark comes into play. Can the bulls work up enough strength to push up through that level? Because now, not only did they fail right there, but they failed right there earlier on in the day. So 254, definitely a key level of resistance. In terms of levels of support, the level that I've talked about previously still is holding. All about that purple line there. You can see this morning got tested, temporarily failed, but then just snapped very nicely back up through that level. So that 50-period moving average is going to be that main level of support. But in my mind, I think the level that most people are watching, therefore the level with the most likely odds of a self-fulfilling prophecy, are going to be up there at that 254 mark with that main area of resistance. Next one here, MARA, very brutal looking chart, but an interesting situation. Brutal in the sense of you got the nice gap up, opening 30 minutes, got the nice green candle, and then from there, I mean, the sellers just showed up. But as I speak right now, check out right where the price is at, right at that purple line, 50-period moving average, which when you look back through the history, you can see as of now, that purple line has done a fantastic job of holding strong, which makes it, in my opinion at least, a very valid question to throw out there. Hey, Is history going to repeat itself? Is the price going to get some sort of bounce in the upwards direction? To be fair, maybe it doesn't. Maybe the price just keeps on dropping. But as I've said earlier, that is a two-sided coin, because maybe history does repeat itself and you get a nice bounce, and that could be a nice trade. But that's also why risk management matters, because if this thing continues to bleed and bleed and bleed, you don't want to turn into a bag holder. But from a risk-reward scenario, meaning what's being risked relative to the potential upside reward, certainly an interesting set of circumstances. Next one, MNTS. And I'll be honest, this almost didn't end up on here because I don't know if there's a setup here or not. So I completely understand if you're like, okay, Clay, yeah, this one's not going on mine. My feelings are not hurt at all. But again, just the crazy nature of today just makes you always kind of wonder, because you do have this former breakout point, the top part of the channel, which I'm going to change to green to represent support, meaning if you look back through here, you can see this was the area where the price was trapped down below. And then once it did get the breakout, that's where everything's made a nice move, both on Friday and then today. And now the price has essentially gone back down and is retesting that breakout point, which brings about the question, is this going to follow traditional rules? Will resistances tend to act as support? And as of now, it seems to be respecting that, because you're actually getting a nice little green candle right here at last 30 minutes. So is that the leading indicator that you're getting a green candle at an area where you would expect to get a green candle, therefore potentially some sort of bounce is happening? Again, no guarantees, but in my mind, that is a plausible scenario. However, again, if you think that maybe I'm trying to fit a square peg through a round hole on this one, I can completely respect that. But at the end of the day, that's why risk management matters, because if this thing does continue on down, you got to manage that downside risk. Next one, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ. So if you believe the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to rise, this one will also rise. So therefore, you can see today, a bit of a mixed bag. But as I speak, and this is why I like to do these when the market's open, check out this last 30 minutes. This candle is pushing to new highs. This candle is getting bigger and bigger as we speak, which presents a very interesting situation headed into Tuesday. As okay, very nice final 30 minutes. Is this the leading indicator of more strength to come? And in my opinion, the level, especially after today and getting this data point up here that everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching, is right there at 36.90. Going back to Friday morning, you can see 36.90 presented a problem. And then you fast forward to late morning today. Once again, same area was a problem. So if the price gets up there, think self-fulfilling prophecies, where if the price does break through there, that very, legitimately could create additional upside buying pressure. In terms of levels of support, again, nothing new here to report from past videos I've done. Still all about that purple line, and to give credit where credit's due. Once again, the price, like it's done in the past, has never quite hit that level, but whenever it's gotten right around the general area of that purple line, it has done a good job of holding as support. So yeah, can the price work its way up to this area of resistance and then get the break? I think that'll be the question on a whole lot of people's mind, especially when you factor in just how strong this last 30 minutes of the day has been. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to get signed up for that free class. It'll be later this week, Thursday, October 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment, say hi, tell me what you're trading tomorrow, tell me what you're watching. But those two things help out with the channel. They communicate to me that you're enjoying, and as long as I know you're enjoying, I'll continue to put in the time and effort to get this content out to you. So hit that like button, leave a comment below, go get signed up for that class. Thanks for watching.